with the funniest sounding name. Get the corner by the window. Tell him you love him once again. If the disco DJ's still there, go on, dance till the break of day. If you're not back in love by Monday, then you go your separate way. If you're not back in love by Monday, you can't say you didn't try. But before you bury your love, just make sure you let it die. Oh, oh. Go on, sleep a few more nights together. Say the things that you used to say.
Not weird, not music, not just sweet. Play one more, one more.
You can call Mrs. Johnson to keep the kids for a day or two. Take the early flight to Florida, just the way you used to do. Have room service, bring your breakfast. Make love all through the day. If you're not back in love by Monday, then you go your separate way. If you're not back in love by Monday, you can't say you didn't try. But before you bury your love, just make sure you let it die. Sleep a few more nights together. Say the things that you used to say. And if you're not back in love by Monday, you just go your separate way.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. If you're not back in love by Monday, you just go your separate. Let's just go our separate ways. If you're not back in love by Monday. 6 minutes after 8 o'clock, you're inside the Smooth Groove on Caribbean Vibes Radio. All the way up to 10 o'clock. Soul music and love songs of yesteryear. My name is Chris Wilby. Tell a friend to tell a friend
And find that little cafe
that I'm on the radio.
with the funniest
Are you ready?
name.
Are you ready? 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 Are you ready?
At the corner
I am.
by the window.
At 9 o'clock. In the spotlight. Who is in the spotlight this afternoon? Who is in the spotlight this evening? At 9 o'clock.
If the disco DJ's still there, go on, dance till the break of day. If you're not back in love by Monday, then you go your
I tell you, it's gonna be fun this evening.
But before you bury,
What are you drinking right now? What are you drinking? You gotta go get your. It's that kind of. We've been cruising all evening, eh? We've been cruising.
go on, sleep a few more nights together. Say the things that you used to say. If you're not back in love by Monday,
We've been cruising all evening. Can you believe that? We've been cruising
yourself.
from 6 o'clock. And we are going until 10 o'clock. Thank you, Lady D. Denise Gomez. Linkage Radio, my brothers and sisters over there at Linkage Radio. Right now, we're done with Inside the Zone. And right now, we are smooth sailing. We're sailing smoothly, of course, all the way up to 10 o'clock. Mr. Cornell Bunting comes your way at 9 o'clock. He's going to be telling his story. What they did to him. My, what a story he has to tell. It is cold. It is cold. It is bone chilling cold right here on Cape Cod. 27 degrees. What is the real feel? Let me check that out. What's the real feel? Because when they tell you that let me give you see if I can pull up the full forecast for you right here. Let's see if I can pull this up for you. What's going on over here? Yeah, 27 degrees. We're expecting a storm beginning on Friday night. We're expecting a storm beginning on Friday night. The skies will be mostly cloudy, they say. The low will be 25 degrees. Temperatures below freezing. So even though it is 27 degrees, they say it feels like 16 degrees outside. Yeah? Overnight. Winter storm watch. There's a winter storm watch starting tomorrow night. Wow. Not looking forward to it at all. So guess what? What are you gonna do? What are we gonna do? So welcome everybody. Welcome. My name is Chris Wilby, and this is the Smooth Groove. Issues affecting relationship comes your way at 8:45. What are we talking about this evening? What are we talking about in issues affecting relationship?
Without your love, see, I'm smiling on the outside while I'm just crying on the inside, facing a world without your love. See, the truth has come to light. You're the reason nothing's right. We're gonna again tonight, all just because of some silly fight. Without your love, foolishly I suffer, only pretend, oh, just to fool my friends. Don't know what to do with myself without your love. There's a wounded, empty space that nothing can replace. That love, that love, that love, that love that I lost. My life can mean so much to me that I can't go it alone. This world is so long. So pack it up, baby, get it together, and start all over again. I don't want to live without your love. While I'm smiling on the outside, I'm just crying on the inside, facing the world without your love. See, I'm fighting sleepless nights, tears have washed all hope from sight. Oh, wouldn't it be so right if I had you right here with me tonight? If you only reach out your hand and save a heartbroken man, I can't live.
One year ago, I was touch and go. Time made me see, solve the mystery, taught me that love and time will change your mind and make it right. Bring your darkness to the light. My heart sings in the night. My love I bring to you.
With this loving, I dedicate to you, for believing in me. I will make you mine, side by side. For love we waited, side by side. We dedicated, side by side. Now we can make it, side by side. We gonna shake it all down.
I can hardly wait to pick you up at 8 for this rendezvous. Candlelight and you, it took me a long time to see it clear that love will last for many years. Dreams do come true, so I bring my heart to you. Yeah, 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 yeah.
With this loving, I dedicate to you.
want to say welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Smooth Groove. It is Chris Wilby, the Vibes Master, in the house with you. Right now it's 19 minutes after 8 o'clock. Going up to 10 o'clock this evening. At 9 o'clock, we're going to be shining the spotlight on a very interesting gentleman. He was jailed in the United States in 2013. He was framed and jailed. He could have been, if he was convicted of the crime, he would have spent, it was possible that he could have spent between 32 years to life imprisonment. That's how serious it was. What happened? How did that happen? Is this something that is happening every day in the United States of America? What does it say about the justice system? Anyway, Mr. Cornell Bunting is going to be here at 9 o'clock to share his story. I suggest that you take a seat, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be gripping. So make sure that you share the link. Make sure that you share the YouTube link. And those of you who are tuning in on YouTube right now, if you have not yet subscribed, I'm asking you to hit that subscribe button. We're working on those numbers. We're trying to round off the 100. We have not. I'm starting to push the numbers right now. So I'm asking people to subscribe. We want to get the first hurdle we want to get to is 100, and then the race is on. All right. So for those of you who have not yet subscribed, if you're tuning in, if you got the link from somebody, if somebody sent you the link and you have not yet subscribed, I'm asking you right now, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell. Also hit that thumbs up button. All right. I thank you very much, and God will bless you in advance too, man. Yeah, man. So we're working to hit that 100 mark. I wonder if we can hit that tonight. Do you think we can hit the 100 mark tonight? We're not too far off, you know. We're not too far off the 100 mark. Do you want to be the 100th person? The 100th person. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that share button. And let's get it on. All right, we're gonna slow it down. We're gonna slow it down just a little bit. Gonna slow it down. Slow down the tempo. Take it down just a notch. 22 minutes after 8. You're inside the Smooth Groove. You believe, ladies and gentlemen, what do you believe? Do you believe that when you are your co-workers, for example, do you believe that they chat you behind your back? What about if you are black and you have a lot of white people working around you, do you believe they call you names? You would be surprised. Now, this article here says, I look white to many. I am black. And this is what white people say to me. Wow, wow, wow. I look black. I look white to many. I am black. And this is what white people say to me. And this article says, I've been a fly on the wall when white people didn't know of color was looking or listening. Let me read that again. I've been a fly on the wall when white people didn't know anyone of color was looking or listening in. Wow, wow, wow. Now, this author here says she is a fair-skinned black woman who has been a fly on the wall when white people don't know anyone of color is looking or listening in. I'm a black woman, she says, who for most of my life has often been mistaken for white. And I'm here to tell you that for decades, white people have openly, even sometimes proudly, expressed their racism to me, usually with a wink and smile, all while thinking I'm white too. The incidents pile up year after year. At a friend's wedding, when I met a new roommate at the grocery store, while riding in a taxi, and during innumerable other events from daily life, as the nation begins finally to focus on the social injustice that takes place across this country. From the south, where I grew up, to the north, where I've lived for the past 22 years, I feel the collective pain. Even as a very fair-skinned black woman with green eyes and light brown hair, I too have experienced racism. But I've also been a fly on the wall when white people didn't know anyone of color was looking or listening. Imagine taking a car service to Newark Airport for a business trip, and the driver, a retired white police officer, tells you and your white boss that were he still a cop, he would pull over the black driver stopped next to us just because he is black. Or the white taxi driver who, during a business trip in the South, freely shares broad generalizations about groups of people looking to either find a kindred soul or spark a debate with a northerner, one who he thought was white. Put yourself in my shoes. When you move to Reston, Virginia, temporarily while you wait for your apartment to become available in Alexandria, and your new roommate, a young white male, one who you thought was kind and warm, warns you to be careful of venturing into Washington, D.C., because every time he goes there, he gets robbed by black people. Really? Every time? I questioned. Think how upsetting it would be to join your boyfriend, at the time who also looks all white but is biracial, at his friend's wedding, and one of the guests states he doesn't want his daughter going to a particular concert because there will be too many black people. How do you respond to something like this? How do you respond while at a social gathering where etiquette suggests politely smiling or at least pretending not to have heard? There's the executive who asks, is this the ethnic Cheryl? When I wear my hair curly rather than straight. What about the random stranger in the grocery store who can't understand the texture of my son's hair and repeatedly asks questions about my background while putting her hands all over my son's head? Imagine the district retail manager who balks at hiring a black model for a fashion show I'm in charge of planning, despite the store having a diverse customer base. She is just not right for this crowd, if you know what I mean. I knew. But she didn't know that maybe I'm not right for her crowd either. Then there are many women who, once they realize I'm black, want me to help them, quote unquote, understand black people because they really haven't had any exposure, as if we are some type of rare species and I'm their spokesmodel. Some instances, I hope, are not coming from a place of hate, but rather incorrect assumptions based on too little information and a too fast glimpse at my face. The medical records that say white instead of black. The doctor who doesn't understand why I'm asking questions related to genetic conditions that are more common to particular ethnic groups. The employee file that doesn't count me as one of their diverse hires. The committee that doesn't realize they have a person of color represented. The performer who asks why don't we have any black people in the audience tonight while looking directly at me seated right there in the front. And yet, it still hurts. Whether in my personal or professional life, rather ironic since I work in the field of philanthropy, diversity, equity, and inclusion, this is a type of fear, ignorance, and lack of self-awareness that I have witnessed and experienced for over 40 years. I'm 51, and I am exhausted. I'm tired of weighing each time whether I am going to say something in response to these hateful statements because I must continue to advocate for what is right, or if I am going to walk away because I'm just too damn tired, or stay silent while gaining more insight into what really is on the minds of some when they don't think a black person is listening. But I do really need any more insight. But do I really need any more insight? Any more proof of what some will say or do if they think no one is watching? Does it really matter if I'm living in the South or no in the North, in a city or suburbs, at work or running errands around town, at a social event or on public transportation, when it's clear from my own experiences and the indifferent attitude toward the suffering of others, spotlighted these last months but enacted for years, decades, centuries before, that some of those same people don't even care when the eyes of the world are on them. Yes, I am exhausted, but I must act. When I hear racist comments clearly meant for white ears only, I have to stay. I have to stand. I have to speak up, challenge, identify myself, educate. I must walk with my fear-minded brothers and sisters of every color to call out racism whenever I see it. I do my part to make this a more just world. And I must say, I am black too. Wow. Very interesting reading. And this is from Cheryl Green Rosario. And she's working on a memoir about her experiences as a light-skinned black woman often mistaken for white. Her name is Cheryl Green Rosario. Cheryl Green Rosario. And she posted that in the HuffPost. Very, very interesting read right there. It's now 8:32, 28 minutes. Going up to 9 o'clock. Once again, I want to say thank you all for jumping on board. Thank you for being a part of Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. At 9 o'clock, we are going to shine the spotlight on a very, very interesting gentleman, from out of Jamaica. Stand by for that, all right? It is a smooth groove, love songs, and smooth music, soul music of yesteryear.
LA proved too much for the man.
Too much for the man. He couldn't make it.
So he's leaving the life he's come to know. Ooh.
He said he's going.
He said he's going back to find.
Going back to find.
Ooh, what's left of his world. The world he left behind not so long ago. But he sure found out the hard way that dreams don't always come true.
Don't forget, those of you on YouTube, don't forget to share the link. Share the link. Send it out. Tell them that we are having an interview at 9 o'clock. We're shining the spotlight in the spotlight.
Take it back to the light.
In the spotlight this evening.
Oh, yes, he did. He said it would.
What's happening? How are you doing?
Leaving on that midnight train to Georgia.
Good evening again, Annette.
Yeah. Said
She's becoming a very, very regular listener, you know. Thank you very much, sis. I really, really appreciate your support. It means a lot, you know. Always good to see family hanging around, you know. That's my big sis right there, yeah.
I'd rather live in his world.
Love you, sis.
Without him in mine.
And of course, the First Lady. The First Lady Yvette is hanging around there too, somewhere. She is busy at work, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
She may not be able to comment as often as she wants to. So I know she's gonna pop in every now and again. She's listening in, I'm quite sure. She just can't respond, you know. Sometimes she's driving too, from one place to the other. Sometimes she's one of the silent listeners there, you know. Living to you, honey bunny. How are you?
Then live without him in mine.
The midnight train to Georgia. I tell you.
The midnight train ride.
I hear that Georgia is feeling the snow, the cold weather over there too, you know. Florida is feeling it too. This weather here, it's not sparing anybody at all. Everybody is getting some of it. You think you're getting out here running from up here to the Garden of Florida. You think you not get to it. That's all the thing. Coming down there. 20 degrees by you down there. It's sweet, me, you see. It's sweet, me. Call me selfish if you want to. I don't care. Call me what you want to call me. Call me selfish if you want. But it's sweet, me. So Florida gets some cold. Because, you know, go on every time and just a boast off on people. And, you know, when we have to get snow up here, you see them put up sunshine on Facebook. You ever see them? You ever see them, ladies and gentlemen? You ever see them? When you're getting snow, wallop, 15, 20 inches of snow. You see them down there taking pictures and putting up 70, 80 degrees. Yeah, and showing themselves on the beach. Me don't sorry for no bug out. Get some 20 degrees pound. Oh, Lord have mercy, I tell you. Every year, this time of year, you see these people down in Florida. I say it can't hurt me, you see. Every time you see they put it up, and you see they put the pictures side by side, you know. This is current situation. Yeah? And they're showing themselves on the beach, or they're showing their local temperature. 80 degrees. Yeah? 80 degrees. And we are over here suffering. Blisters from cleaning snow and your toe hurt you because you listen, man. You think me sorry for that? Me not sorry for that. Me glad so that I get little cold.
Tell a few jokes, but it still doesn't ease my pain. I know I can't hide from a memory, though day after day I've tried. I keep saying she'll be back, but today again I've lied.
Oh, I see her face everywhere I go, on the street and even at the picture show. Have you seen her? Tell me, have you seen her? cold winds blow in the sweet music on the radio. Have you seen her? Tell me, have you seen her? Set me free. Have you seen her? Tell me, have you seen her? Why, oh, why did she have to leave and go away? Oh, yeah. Oh, I've been used to having someone to lean on, and I'm lost. Baby, I'm lost. Have you seen her? Tell me, have you seen her?
As another day comes to an end, I'm looking for a letter or something, anything that she would send. With all the people I know, I'm still a lonely man. You know, it's funny. I thought I had her in the palm of my hand.
Tell me, have you seen her? Have you seen her? Have you seen her? Tell me, have you seen her? Have you seen her?
Such a long, long time.
Yo, Vibes Master. Not do it. Not
like
do
I
it.
get
The
you
music not is so
off
sweet.
of my
Play it
mind,
one more time.
but I can't. Such a long, long time. Look like I get you off of my mind, but I can't. Just the thought of you turns my whole world misty blue. Just the mention of your name turns the flicker to a flame. Listen to me, good baby. I think of the things we used to do, and my whole world turns misty blue. Oh, I've tried. Baby, when I say that I'm glad we're through, deep in my heart I know I've lied. I've lied.
It is now time for Issues Affecting Relationships. IAR. IAR is aired on Caribbean Vibes Radio Network every Thursday at 8:45 p.m. The views expressed are not necessarily those of the management and staff of the station. The information presented in this segment are for educational and entertainment purposes. Now here's your host, Chris Wilby.
My whole world turns misty.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that time. It is that time for issues. On issues affecting relationship, we share all kinds of stories, right? We share the good, we tell you how to, what some things that you can do to enhance your relationship. We tell you about stuff that other people are doing. We share from the weird to the ridiculous to the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is. Yeah, it has to do with relationship though. So this evening on Issues Affecting Relationship, I share one of those stories, one of those wacky stories. It says here that I fell in love with a prisoner I'd never met, and now we are engaged and planning a wedding. Yes, that's what we share. We share all kinds of stuff here at Issues Affecting Relationships. So this one is one that is going to fall in that, should I say weird? Yeah? Wacky? I don't know. You be the judge of it. But maybe I should just use the word interesting. Yeah? It says here, Bria Sutton, 22, very young, fell in love with Harley Webb, 32, while he was imprisoned for burglary. And the couple are now set to get married after he proposed on the first day of his release. As we edge closer to Valentine's Day, there will be no shortage of stories to remind us that love is in the air. But we bet that there won't be a story quite like Bria Sutton's, who is engaged to a man she fell in love with from his prison cell without actually meeting him. Many of us meet our partners through dating apps, works, friends, or bars. But as the traditional quote says, true love always finds a way, right? Bria, 22, got engaged to Harley Webb, 32, just a day after he was released from prison for burglary. And now, the besotted duo say they are planning a life together. Congratulations are in order. Maybe you should sing that for them. Somebody, Lady D, you can sing. Can you sing congratulations from the Kira Brea started chatting to Harley on the phone in August 2020 after a friend who was also dating an inmate put the pair in touch. And things moved quickly as they became boyfriend and girlfriend just a month after. Due to COVID restrictions, they could only keep in touch via phone calls, letters, or for another 8 months. Once prison visits were allowed, Brea visited her boyfriend for the first time in May 2021, and every week since then until his release a week ago on January 10th. She surprised her boyfriend with a tattoo of his initial on her ribs at their first... I don't know if I can manage to finish reading this. This one is a little bit too much for me. She surprised her boyfriend with a tattoo of his initial on her ribs at their first in-person meeting, while Harley lavished her with gifts from his cell. Just 24 hours into his freedom, Harley returned the gesture by popping the question before releasing celebratory fireworks. Bria from Swindon, Wiltshire, said the first time we got to hug, it was just so surreal. And I tell you, love at first sight. Love at first sight, I tell you. Fireworks! I was crying. It doesn't seem real. It's like I am living a dream. Oh, my Lord. It's crazy finally being together after just visits and phone calls for so long. But it's like we have known each other forever. There are no awkward moments or anything. He proposed to me the next day in a park with a firework display. I tell you, fireworks, people. I've never felt like that ever in my life. I was lost for words and really emotional. I can see, I can understand why he was in prison and you couldn't get to see him. And now I had no idea. Everyone was guessing that he would propose, but I didn't want to get my hopes up, so I wasn't expecting it. I didn't think he'd do it because he hadn't had time to get a ring, but we went and got it the next day. The following day, the couple went and chose an engagement ring together, with Bria opting for a diamond and platinum number. Bria is now staying in a rented apartment in St. Ives, Cornwall, to be near the hostel her fiancé has to stay in as part of his probation. Oh Lord, no, ladies and gentlemen, we can't bother because I wonder where him get the money. I wonder if part of the money where him used by the ring is part of the one where him rob the people. Can you imagine? All her family and friends, they're on board with this. Would you be on board with your daughter telling you that she's in love with a guy? I don't know. My daughter come and tell me that. On a flatboard, they know nowhere near about the place there. My daughter come and tell me that, but she is in love with a guy she met in prison. In prison. Not in college, not in church, not at the park, not at work. Of all the places to find that one. Oh, God have mercy. It's 8:52, ladies and gentlemen. We're standing by for that interview at the top of the hour. My God. What a story, man. What a story. Huh?
Longing to love you just for a night, kissing and hugging and holding you tight. Please let me love you with all my might. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we feel.
Yvette, seriously thinking though, talk truth. Can you imagine Jacint come home and come tell you that she fell in love with a guy. She fell in love with a guy from prison? Prison? Of all the places, there is nowhere else where you could find love? Prison? Oh my God and Father. No, man. Something not right there, so. I think they're going to be the next Bonnie and Clive. Is it Clive or Clyde? Clive, yeah. Bonnie and Clive. I think they're going to be the next Bonnie and Clive. What? Oh. 8:54 and counting. Mr. Sherman, good evening to you, my brother. Good to see you. How are you doing? Good to have you on board. Bonnie and Clive. That's what they're gonna be. She fell in love with him. You hear the story? You hear she just had goosebumps and everything just all over, and she was just like, ooh, he fell in love with me. In the spotlight coming up. We're gonna be shining the spotlight by Mr. Cornell. At 9 o'clock. What a story that is gonna be. He was imprisoned. He was imprisoned in the United States of America. He was imprisoned in the United States of America in 2013. Yeah. He was framed. And needless to say, he went through hell and back. But I can't tell the story because I don't know the story. I don't know all of the story. I know bits and pieces of the story. So I can't tell the story. And that is why I invite him to come here this evening and talk to you in his own words. I'm not going to be doing much of the talking, ladies and gentlemen. Don't expect me to do a lot of interruption. This guy has a story to tell. And I want him to tell it as much as possible. In his own words. I want him to tell you from A to B. And then from B to Z. What happened, how it happened, why it happened, where it happened, what he's doing today. Where is he today? How did this affect him? How is it affecting him? All of those questions he's gonna set straight once he get here in a run about 3 minutes.
Can't find the reasons why I love you, baby, my dear. Can't find the reasons I wanna love you all night. Can't find the reasons.
So you say it's not Clive. It's not Clive. It's Clyde. Yeah. Bonnie and Clyde. Oh, Mr. Sherman, tell me the truth. Dark truth. Of all the places. The young lady decide to find love. In prison? In prison? There was nowhere else on earth that she could find love? I don't know. I don't know. I tell you. It is 8:58, ladies and gentlemen, standing by at the top of the hour. We have a very, very interesting story for you. It is one of those stories. It's one of those stories. I know we hear a lot about stories like these in the United States of America. We hear a lot of these stories on a daily basis where people are getting free. But to hear it from a person who have been through it is a completely, completely different thing. And so Mr. Cornell Bunting is gonna share his story with us coming up. Stand by. I tell you, what an evening it has been, man. For those of you who are listening in on YouTube, those of you tuning in right now on YouTube, this is the time when I want you, if you have not yet shared the link, I'm going to ask you this one time, this last time throughout the program, to just hit that share button. Hit that share button for me. All of you listening in on YouTube right now, hit that share button. Share it with a friend. That's all you can do, you know. You can't force them to come and listen, you know. but you can just share it. So just share it for me now, and let's get the show on the road. We have online, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cornell Bunting from out of Jamaica, and he is in the spotlight this evening. We're gonna shine the spotlight on him. Good evening to you, Mr. Bunting. How are you?
I'm doing great, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Yes, man. Blessings and honor, Papa. What's going on? What you do?
Wow, we're there, man. We're good. Good, man. There, and,
Yeah.
full of life, excited, yeah?
Yeah? Excited?
Yes, man.
Hold on. You say you're excited. After me just I tell the people them say, you spent 10 months in prison for a crime that you did not commit. And the first thing you tell me is that you're excited.
Yes, man.
Hold on. Me not get this. Anyway, you are in Jamaica now, right?
No. I'm back in America. Back in America.
Oh, you are back in America. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Bunting, it is good to have you on Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. I appreciate you coming on to share your story with us. And I am not going to get in your way this evening, right? I want you to, first of all, I want you to introduce yourself to my audience. I want you to say hi to the audience and introduce yourself. And we're just going to get right into the story of what happened. How did you get arrested? What were you arrested for? The floor is yours, sir. Talk.
Well, it's an honor to be on this show right now, and I'm grateful to you for having me on, So, for everyone, my name is Cornell Bunting. I'm a published author, motivational speaker with a few other titles, but we'll let those two main ones kind of take the main stage. Born in Jamaica and, learning the arts in Jamaica. Getting that opportunity to come to America and having that big dream, to be in America and to become a citizen and, open up your own business. All those things was my dream. And I remember back in 2003, I made a bold statement. So I would become a citizen. I would open my own company. I would go to college and get my degree. And I was told that very moment that will never happen.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that was the push. Because all I wanted to do was prove that fellow wrong. And because he was here prior to me coming here, 16 years, and just been struggling. So for him, he had a valid reason. And so for me, fast forward 11 years later, I became a citizen here. And, 2 years after that, I got my degree in information technology. And that same year, because I had made so much money with the job I had in hospitality, I was able to use some of that money to open a security company.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, with the drive that I carry and the passion for what I do, and I believe in something and I believe in myself, I push myself and I try to be eventually the best in that field.
Yes.
And so with that push, it put me in front of some pretty good clients that I would actually take over those contracts. And with that, I think I was creating enemies for myself when it comes to my competitors. And so just moving along and feeling good about what was going on, getting all these different contracts and, next thing you know, one day, and, just to hover over some of, what unfold, I was getting these different contracts, and I remember the last big contract I got was to sign. I signed with this family to provide them with physical security at 3 different locations. And in that time frame, a member from that family was going through some things with someone out of state. And I guess it was in that same time frame as well where other people knew of this thing that was going on, except myself. I guess I didn't get the memo. And which was what they were able to use to fabricate a story against me. And basically what that was, that family member had some business with someone that built engines, and that person did finish the engine for them. So what they did, they said that this family hired me to go kidnap that fella, possibly kill that fellow, rob that fellow, all these different things, tie them up. A whole heap of something they had to it, and all that stuff from that build up. They took that story, and there came a time when I was trying to sell one of my employees as a good worker for a location, and I wanted to convince the owners that this guy would fit well for their location. And so, because of some complaints I was getting from, some of my employees about that individual, I say, let me do evaluation with that person to see what the mindset is like and what's going on with it. And it just happened that very day when I decided I was going to go sit down, have some breakfast with them, with the new client as well. It's the very morning that we got pulled over, and that pullover started out first as speeding, and then it went into something is wrong with the license because that gentleman was driving the car. Then that changed to something happened and we need to take you guys in for questioning. And next thing I know, I'm being taken out of the vehicle that I'm in, and I'm being put in a van. And then next thing you know, I'm going into a room and sitting in a room and having these guys come in trying to speak to me. And I was so confused. I couldn't say anything because I didn't know what to say. And when you don't know what to say, you just don't say anything.
Yeah.
And from that, they took me to jail, the holding cell. And in the holding cell, for me, I was thinking, they make a mistake, whatever. They would give me ban, and I would ban out. And I would, go home and try to figure this thing out.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the case. They say, you can't see the judge until in the morning, so you have to spend the night in this holding cell. And when I tell you, this holding cell, there were probably 17 of us in this one cell. There was barely walking room.
So but at that time, at that time, Cornell, did they actually tell you why they were holding you?
No.
They did not tell you why they arrested you. They did not tell you why they were holding you.
No.
Okay.
No. So, and so what happened? Finally, we went to first appearance, and in first appearances, they called out the charges. And when I heard the charges, I actually sat back down because I thought maybe I got up too early. They maybe said maybe I was coming up next, whatever,
Yeah.
and then they start calling out
Because you know
for
that is
someone
not
else.
you.
And
What are they talking about?
yeah.
Yeah.
So the guy, I don't know if he's a bailiff or whatever you call him. He said, "What are you doing, man?" I'm said, "Well, them I call out some crime where I no recognize." So I'm not sure who they talking about. He said, "That's you, man. That's you they talking about."
Wow.
And yeah, man. So when him said that, now it hit me, and now I was really confused. Because now I'm saying, what's going on here? This doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And when they call out the 16 felony charges, the way
16.
they were called out, because they were hold on some of them, I basically didn't have a bond. So they said, well, you don't have a bond, Mr. Bunton, so you have to go to maximum security jail, where you hang out with the felons that are doing 2 life sentence and all these different things.
Hold on. Hold on
So
here. What was going through your mind at that particular moment when you heard all these charges and you now realize that you are actually the person who these charges are related to? What was going through your mind? How you felt about that?
confused, man. I felt like darkness had just hit my it's like darkness rushed to my head, and like everything nothing was making sense. And I was like, this, I was furious. I needed answer, but I don't know who to ask to give me the answer, because these guys were just telling me what's going to happen and where I was going. So it was like pointless to even ask them. This doesn't make any. I even said to them that this doesn't make any sense. So for me, it was like a head rush. I had a head rush, man. It was crazy. Crazy head rush. And so, because of how the media had it, and the media was running it. So everyone that's in jail, all they watch is the news.
Yes.
So any cell you're going into, everyone in there already know what you're accused of. So the TV actually categorize you when you go to jail, because they know whether you a weak guy or whatever type of guy you is, and then that determine if you get beat up and all those different things. So because of how they tarnish my name on the media, I was able to, it was like a pass. No one really wanted to mess with me, because, they had the whole zip tie and body bag and all these things they say we had. It was brutal, man. And so when I went in there, the guys that was running that cell, they were actually taking stuff from other people and giving it to me, because, it take a while for your books to get set up.
Yes.
And your books is something where you put money and you can buy your canteen and you have some snacks for snacking, because the food in there is terrible.
Yes.
And, so me really, the first couple of weeks was rough. But, like I said, because of how the picture was painted against me, these guys had like gathered a sense of respect for me and just wanted to make sure, sir.
Because they see you as a violent criminal,
yes,
a hardened criminal.
Yes,
so in other words,
yes,
no guy gonna test you.
You're right. Right. Yes,
Wow.
Yes, man. So
Wow.
in that sense, the tarnish of the name, it helped in that sense.
Yes.
And the different things that I witnessed while there, I really didn't think we had humans that would behave like that, and a lot of it was very disturbing. The good thing about the maximum security is that you always have COs, those officers that are watching everyone. They have COs assigned to every cell. So you're being watched 24/7. So you don't have to be too much worry about someone trying to mess with you like rape you or any of them type of thing there.
Mm-hmm.
It's more when the CO them turn them back and someone been eyeing you want to check you, like hit you or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that works. And fights do break out, but when they do a lockdown, everyone go in their blocks and they come and they check everyone knuckles, and whoever knuckle look red and swell up, then pull them out, put them in the box. So that was really the life in there. And when I tell you I had to create a shell of myself, not necessarily me, but the character that was created, I had to create a shell of that individual to be able to fit in with that crowd and, just go along with it, just to kind of preserve me, Colonel Bunting. And from there now, I was able to kind of somewhat move without going crazy, because a lot of the guys in there were going crazy. And I tell you, man, it gotten to a point, like I seen guys that just look at like the medicine lady that come down to give different people their medication, that have a full-blown relationship with that lady.
Yeah.
That lady have no idea that she's in a relationship with one of these criminals in the cell. And I've seen where guys fight other guys because that guy was looking at her. And, so that's the world that I was in. And I had to figure out how I needed to take this world and make it my world.
Mm-hmm.
How I can just control this.
All right, Cornell, stand by for 1 second for me. We need to take one small break here. This story here is getting more and more interesting, and I need to adjust your microphone a little bit. Your voice is very very deep. So because of that, I'm trying to turn it up, and then I cannot turn it up a little bit too much, and then it's not hearing. So if you can do me a favor and just see if you can elevate your voice a little bit more, because you have that bass on your voice. So elevate your voice a little bit more so we can so the audience can hear you. But stand by. We need for ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Cornell Bunting, and he has a story. He was arrested in the United States in 2013, and he faced multiple charges, and he was going to be sentenced. If he was convicted, he would have served between 32 years to life imprisonment on these charges. And these were trumped up charges. So he's here and he is telling us his story. Stand by. We will come right back with you to finish that. Stand by there for me, Cornell.
I know my part, 'cause I stand beside you through the years. You'll only cry those happy tears, and though I make mistakes, I'll never break your heart. And I swear by the moon and the stars and the skies, I'll be there. I swear, like the shadow by your side.
I'll build your dreams with these two hands. We'll hang some man.
All right, Cornel, you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, let's see if we can. I hope we can. We're better with that volume there right now. Yes, continue with the story. You said that you were in the cell and you were now going over a couple of weeks in the cell, and people were now afraid of you. Can you just repeat some of the charges that you were charged with again?
So, kidnapping. I want to say robbery. I want to say attempted murder. Because it was expunged, so I don't have a paper that actually, show me in front of me the different charges. But the way it worked was there is 8 counts of solicitation. So all these, so it's the same, so it's 8 charges, but the same 8 charges fall under 2 different categories. One is solicitation and the other is conspiracy. And with that, the 2 8 now mount up to 16. So it's really kind of how the whole thing unfold. And so what they said was the amount of people that was at this location, each person is a crime.
Oh,
so,
gotcha.
Yes, so that was how they did it, and it brought it to what that looked like. So from there, for me, because now I was really confused, but now everything it was like hitting real, like this is really happening, like you're not going anywhere. Like you literally have to sit here until they figure this out, and you get a lift off the ban, because without the hole being lift off the ban, I can't ban out. And so, for me, it was really just having conversations with God, and I'm just saying, Father God, I not really understand what you're trying to do right now, but I would love for you to bring me some clarity. And, because I was really bitter. I was bitter for maybe the first 3 months in there, I was very bitter.
Yeah, which I can understand. I mean, most people would be.
Yes, man. And, but things were happening. Things were happening. And when I tell you, this moment, there was a moment. There was a big moment. And it's a moment that I will never forget. It was because where we were, you don't see the light at day. You only see the light at day for 1 day a week, for 1 hour. So the rest of the time you're just locked in the cell, and that's literally, if you're creative, then maybe you do some reading, because they bring you books for you to read, and you can buy writing pads and write. And so with that, this moment happened, and when this moment happened, it pushed me to doing all the above that I just spoke of. And so, we were there one day, and when I tell you, some people were working out, some were just kind of talking about, different crimes. Because some of these criminals are really, really criminals, that just don't care about the outside world. They just want to be there. So they do certain crime with the hope that they could possibly get away. Most of them don't get away. And they talk about it. So there was this day when I tell you, everyone was engaged with, either someone or something. And out of nowhere, this fly appeared. And when I tell you, it stole the attention from everybody. The fly had everyone's attention. Because we didn't understand how this fly got in there, where this fly come from to get in there, and everyone it's like they were excited. Everyone was excited about the fly, and one guy said, "Make it clear, nobody hurt this fly." And right then, it's like this voice starts speak to me, and I say, "You're gonna get out, you are the fly there, Yeah, man. But I need you right now to start use the talent on me gear. You need to open this mind of yours and show the world your creativeness. Don't worry about when you're going to get out. You will get out. This fly is here to show you that there's hope. Make you see that the impossible is possible. And it's like I was just taking all that in. And, you know, after that day, when I tell you about maybe 3 to 4 writing parts, I was reading a lot of books between the Bible, adventure books, fiction, non-fiction books, all kind of books. And then I was just writing my own different tale of stuff that I went through when I was younger, you know, and just the different places that I was moving around to and stuff like that. So that fly really kind of changed the perspective of how I was seeing a lot of things. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And it calmed me down. Because after that, I wasn't bitter anymore. I understood.
And you were going, how long, and this happened, how long were you in there when this fly actually?
The fly happened around 3 months in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, around my 3 month while I was there, the fly happened.
Okay.
Yeah, man, and that's now me just buckle down.
Which state you said this happened in again?
This is in Florida.
Florida, okay.
Yeah. So, just the way everything unfolded from there, I didn't fear anything because when I tell you that they were bullying me to take a 5-year prison sentence.
So they
and
wanted
this guy
your lawyer was encouraging you to take a plea deal.
Not necessarily, you know. The lawyer had to come tell me what they tell him to tell me.
Okay, gotcha.
And so he just let me know that he said this is not coming from me. This is coming from the state attorney that is prosecuting, you know. And you know, so and there was at one point as well where I actually met with the state prosecutor as well, where he sat down with me and was just trying to tell me all these different things. And he even went as far as to one point saying, you know, I mean, you can go do this 5-year and come back out, and before you know, this thing is off your name, and you can move on with your life. And I'm saying to myself, this brother I must think I mean, I have no sense. I don't understand what this brother come and talk to me about. These things are when I make no sense. And so, for me, you know, you see, because I never do anything, there was nothing these guys could tell me to calm me down and make me feel like, say, I needed to take a deal in order to see back my kids, them, man, you know?
Yes.
Because at the time, my boys were coming to visit me every Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that work is a TV screen. So they go to a building. So they don't come to the building, you know. They go to another building and it's like a remote call. A remote calling. So I can see them on the TV screen and we talk for, I think we have about, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 30 to 45 minutes, somewhere around there. But really and truly, that's literally the only people that came to see me was my kids. Everyone just kind of, everyone just scatter away. Everyone gets scared. Everyone was just.
So you think they were thinking that you were guilty? Is it
yes,
exactly
man.
case?
We asked, man, a lot of people, man. Even the girl I talked to at the time. She really thought that, you know, the news, you know, was saying something accurate. You know, there was a lot of people. The
so
only person.
What does that? How did that make you feel, knowing that the people who you trusted and loved at the time, they literally turned their backs on you and believed the worst of you? when you know that's not true? How did that make you feel?
It was disappointing. It was disappointing, and I mean, but it also goes to show for how people can be when certain things get a certain way, when a narrative is painted a certain way, and so luckily for me, my I could call her my best friend at the time. She was the only one that really stuck in there and say, she knew for a fact that what they were throwing against me was fabricated.
Mm-hmm.
And she hung in there, and I even at one point had to give her a power of attorney to be able to make some pay some bills for me and stuff like this, because despite you being in jail, things still moving outside, but because I was losing so much money, I had to close the security company. No one wanted to continue running it, and so that in itself had really got challenging. So I had to close that, and understanding how racial driven it was, because that's what my attorney told me, I had to brace myself and be ready. And, he said, when you get out, we have work to do. You're going to have to write questions down, because this guy that accused me of these things was working for me. And so for me,
was one of your employees?
Yes, man. So, and it worked in a way where a lot of it didn't really make sense, the way they were trying to do it. But they did it that way, and I think why they were doing it like that is because it have worked on so many people. Because a lot of, the biggest thing with the system, they don't want to go to trial.
Yes.
Because trial is too much.
Mm-hmm.
It takes too much. And so my case became the oldest case with the judge. And I had 14 pre-conference trials. And every time we go to a pre-conference trial, the state would be like, we're still trying to gather evidence, we're not ready yet. And we have to go back, schedule another one. And if, this thing stretch out for over 3 years in a month. So, the span of how the whole thing.
Where were you during all this time? You were actually in prison all of that time?
In jail, so maximum security jail.
Yes.
Is where the guys from prison
mm-hmm.
that are facing life sentence, 2 life sentence, and all them things there.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they go. So the maximum security, you wear a wristband. It's where the most dangerous criminals are.
And that's where you were.
Yeah, man. And so everyone is.
Long?
Go ahead.
You were there for how long?
10 months.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I went to the trial now, if I had lose trial, then I would be facing 32 years to life in prison. So the pre-conference trial was what was trying to determine what that was going to look like. Mm-hmm. And so because the case, it became the oldest case, mm-hmm. they had to try it. And for me, I was praying that it would be tried, because I was broke. I didn't have no money left. Money run out.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Father God, boy, anytime because I have no money left. And I know that the kid's mom at the time had put me on child support. So while I was there like that, I had a child support thing mounting up on me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, man. So they do so many things that doesn't make sense, but they do it anyway because it's the system. So when I finally got out now, and my attorney said, listen, you need to take this all the way serious, because not only you're paying me $45,000, but you're paying me $250 an hour every time we go court. Every time we go court, I want to make sure say him are the first one them call to do my thing, so I'm not go over the hour. And for the most part, it worked. For the most part, it worked. So, but it was very expensive, and it brought
So
me a
what
lot
actually
of.
happened? Why you were eventually released?
So while I was released, I I had time on my hands, so I kept writing. I didn't think about that even affecting me. I just kept writing. I was just writing different stories and just saving them on my laptop, and just hoping that God timing would work for me, and I understand what is going on, and just know say I was gonna get through it. So, and I was still making sure now those times that I didn't really put in with my boys, where I needed to spend quality time with them and stuff. I was doing that now, and a lot of things was put in perspective that I needed to.
Yeah, but the question is what happened? Why how did they eventually find out that you did not do these things?
So when we went to trial now, so finally we went to trial, because the case became the oldest case. The first 2 days the state was looking good because the state get to present their case, and they had a lot of cops that was, trying to create something. And the third day was the guy that accused me. That was his day to testify. And when I tell you, him crumble bad. And what my attorney did, he asked him, the sixth question he asked him was actually the first question. But how him do it, him kind of twist it up. Twist up the question upon him, and the way the question was twist on him now, the way he had to answer it, he had to answer it in a way that justify why he did that. And so with that now, he just start, naming out things, between me not, put him in a certain location that he wanted to be at, and me being black and me being young, and all these different things just start come out of him.
So he actually confessed. Understand?
Yes, man. Him mouth just get loose on him. Him couldn't hold him out. Him mouth just get loose.
Yeah, they sound like something we would have watched on Law and Order. Yeah, like at the end of it, the person just let loose. I mean, this doesn't sound like reality, man.
Yeah, and the thing was, he is like almost like he didn't even realize he was telling on himself until my attorney said, "How much did they pay you?" And it's like it come out, and as soon as it came out, it's like him do and catch it back. And like him I said, "Wait, what just happened?" And everybody might drop.
So this guy was a black, white, Hispanic.
A white man,
was a white guy. Oh.
Yeah, man, a white guy, man. So because nothing came of it with him, I mean, he walked free, and after doing all that damage, he walked free, and I look right in his face, and I tell him, I say, "Listen, man, I forgive you." Just like that. I said nothing else. I just said, "I forgive you."
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I just leave it there, because on the last day, because even after he told on himself and everything, the judge still continue the trial, because he said, we picked jury, so might as well we get the jury what they came to do. And so he left it in the jury hands. And on that day, I had my friend brought my boys, and I took them to a room in this one room outside of the courtroom, and I said, "Listen, boys, I don't know what the end result of today is gonna be, but I want you boys know that I love you, and I will try my very best to be here for you boys, whether it's just on the phone or your boys coming to visit me or whatever that look like. But I now understand the importance of you boys being in my life."
Because at
and
that
just helping me
time,
understand.
At that time, no, you kind of started having doubts whether or not you were gonna go home.
Well, yes, man, because the way the whole thing unfolded, I was saying I don't know if they're gonna try to even
Hmm.
find a way to pin something because
Yes,
it didn't make
yes.
sense why we continue the trial,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and so for me, it was like, I'm like, Father God, I don't know what your plan is, but
Mm,
if your plan for put me in a prison and whatever that look like, I understand.
okay.
And I just left it there. And when I tell you, these people was probably in the room for nearly 10, 15 minutes.
Mm,
But that 10, 15 minutes felt like they were in there for 3, 4 hours.
wow. I can imagine.
It was a very, yes, man, it was
Yeah,
a
I
very
can
long
imagine. Yes.
feeling, man. And,
Yes.
and when they came out and they say, the jury came to a verdict, and they just start call off the charges there, man. Everything was not guilty. It's like, man, it's like, when you're in a plane and the pilot drop the plane,
Mm-hmm.
and like your belly bottom and left you.
Yes.
Every time them drop one and they say not guilty, it's like something else left, man. And I just saw it I go until them get to the final one, the 16, and not guilty. And me sit down and me just got emotional. Me just start cry. Me youth them come around me and hug them, man.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, man.
So what happened? What happened after that? How did you face that challenge, knowing now that you went to jail for something you did not do? Did you try to sue the state, or how that part of it work?
Well, the message that was passed down to me was, I would focus. If I was your client, I would focus on trying to get moving with my life, with his life, and don't put yourself in a situation where the cops gonna pull you over a lot and try to get you aggravated to where they can arrest you. So it was like a light little bit of a threat was sent to me, like, if you know a good fear, don't go after the fear because we're going to have the cops to harass you. So what I did, I say, let me focus on spending time with my boys because at the time, no one want to give me a job, Because even after the case done, I still had the 16 felony charges on my name, even though it's annulled. But enough people don't know what that means. So, you go to a job, and when I tell you I probably applied over almost 200 jobs, nobody would give me a job.
Wow.
And I just leave it alone for a little bit. At the time, my lady, same friend, because she wanted a chance to become my lady. And I said, all right, I know I'm grateful for you standing there for me. And, I said, all right, I give it a chance. And she was giving me $20 allowance a week. So I made that work. And, it's just, it was challenging. It was very challenging. But I kept writing, and I did some research and tried to figure out how I could get one of these stories out. And I finally figured out a way to get one of the story out with a self-publishing company, and got the story out. And about a month, the story the book get released. I went to church with them, and in church, I died, man. I fell out of my chair, died, left my body. Looking at myself when they were trying to bring me back, and running to myself, trying to tell them I'm fine, and finding myself falling through my body. And I'm trying to grab myself, and none of that happened. I find myself in a room having a conversation with a distorted face, man. And, from there, things was kind of, it was like there was some things that I didn't fully pay attention to. So when I died, now a lot more stuff was coming to me. A lot of stuff was happening. Some of it, it's like I can't necessarily disclose it and stuff like that. But
yes.
the way it unfolded, it was crazy. And this was in church, in front of 5,000 people. And I think the pastor say about the 14 minute, they started to have a conversation about putting me in a body bag because I wasn't coming back. It was like, this man is gone, stressed out from, the whole thing that happened to him, going to the jail and losing all the money that he lost and all these different things. And there, the pastor now saying, no, man, I can't let him go out in a body bag. And now them approaching on 16 minutes. And I said, this man is definitely dead. And, because they pronounced me dead. And
So
then,
was there a medical examiner there or somebody who...
Yes, man. The whole of them coming, man. So what they were doing, they wanted to have the EMS or whatever you call them, the paramedics guys.
Yeah.
They wanted them to bring the dead body out on the stretcher, but they didn't want to do that. They wanted to put the dead body in the bag, in the body bag.
Right.
And the pastor had a problem with that. So right when them having the conversation now, I came back. I let out a roar and frighten everybody. And from there now, they must say, a lot of the people must say, nobody can tell me say there is not a God. There is a God.
Wow. What a story. What a story. So what is we're coming up on 9:47 right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Cornell Bunting, a Jamaican who was accused in 2013 of all kinds of things, and he was sent to jail. He was sent to prison he was sent to jail actually, and he would have spent almost a life imprisonment for the crimes had he been convicted. Now he got off the charges, and he's here telling his story because he was set up by somebody for whatever reason. The person set him up, and God help him to get off the charges, and he's here telling his story. And it's a hell of a story, ladies and gentlemen. So you say you have a book out. What is the name of the book?
A whole heap of book out, man. There's 8 book out, but the latest book is called Escape in the Darkness, Using Adversity to Find Purpose.
And where can people find the books? On Amazon, I would suspect?
Yes.
On Amazon?
Yes, Amazon. They can also go on my website, cornellbunting.com. But Amazon, you find all my books. If you actually go on Amazon and just type in Cornell Bunting, Amazon will give you a drop-down that says Cornell Bunting Books. And if you click on that, you see all of my books that's out published.
Okay.
But just for people to understand, Escape in the Darkness is a sequel to Escape in a Life Sentence, which was my first big #1 book on Amazon. I was #1 for a month. So, and that one talks about when I was in jail for the 10 months, facing 32 years to life, and when I died for 16 minutes. The Escape in the Darkness book, it talks about in my dark times in jail, and then what I did with them adversities there, how I used them to recognize my purpose. So it's 10 chapters and then 10 lessons. So there's a part 1 and a part 2 to the Escape in the Darkness book. Very good book. I feel this is a masterpiece. One of my few masterpieces, because I've written over 50 books.
Yes.
But I have 8 that's out published right now. So, there is some kids books as well. There's a workbook as well, because I have a non-profit organization named EAS, which I have a solid team, and I just want to shout out everyone that's on the EAS team. Big up on yourself. EAS stands for Everyone Have a Story, and with that, we wanted to just get out there and just show the youths how important they are and help them understand that they have value, they have something to add to society, and help them to also understand that there is something that's going to be created in this world that won't come into existence without them having a part to play in that.
So so you're a motivational speaker right now.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Okay.
It's one of my things where I have to help the youths them understand the importance of them, because they're our future. And while we're doing what we're doing now, we have to set the stage for them when they come to really continue this on. And we still have kids getting born every day. We need to shape a world that for them it makes sense, and help them understand that community is very important.
Yes.
We need each other. No man is an island. Everyone has someone behind them that help them to do great things. And so, even for me, on the come up right now, the team of people that's behind me, and the Trudy, the Lisa, the Jody, and the Allison, the Natushka, the Kim, all the different individuals, the O'Neill, the Neil, the Darius, all the guys, man, and crew, Dog World. All
so somebody, and I just had to break because we're coming up on the close here. Somebody just on the chat said, Janelle said, wow, I'm sorry you went through that. I just purchased both books.
Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that.
And somebody else, Yvette, that's my wife, she said, I'm going to get few of these books.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Man, I tell you, this is a story. It's like we could be just talk. You could just go on and on. We could go on for another 3-4 hours. I mean, this is like wow.
Because really, we don't scratch the surface, So.
Yeah, man. I really appreciate you coming on, Cornell, and I must have you back, for part 2.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because there is so much to you. You're not just a one-dimensional person. This is not your only story. There's many more sides to you that we need to put out there in the media for people to see and hear and all of that. So we must have you back for part 2 at some point, man. And I want to say thank you again for coming on the show and sharing your story with the audience. And man, may God continue to bless, guide, and keep you, and continue to shine the light, my brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man.
And you continue to do a great job as well, sir.
Yes, man. Thank you very, very much, man. And we continue to just shine the spotlight on people like you, and keep the fire burning in your ears, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. You have a blessed night.
Yeah, man. God bless. Take it easy.
Yes, sir. All right.
Wow. What a story. That story there could go on for another however long. But we're coming up on the end of the show. It's 9:54. Ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of challenge in the beginning. The voice was a little bit low. The volume was a little bit low, but got that taken care of, and we're able to continue with the broadcast. I hope you were able to hear everything that he had to say. We're going to have him back for part 2, because this story here with Cornell, and I'm going to have to get a couple of, my wife and my daughter, they're buying the books. So I'll just read them when they they're buying the books, and I'll just read them once they arrive. But I got to get to the bottom of this, man, and read some of these books where I can understand exactly what is happening, you know. So I want to say thanks to everyone who tuned in, everyone who shared, everyone who liked. Those of you who are listening in for the first time on the YouTube channel, if you have not yet subscribed, I'm asking you if you could hit that subscribe button before you leave. Thank you very, very much. I want to hit that 100 mark. Yeah, the 100 mark is significant, you know. Yeah, so I want to hit that 100 mark. So for those of you who have not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. We're gonna keep the story going, and don't tune in every Thursday at 9 o'clock for In the Spotlight, where we shine the spotlight on interesting people, places, and things. So join us again next week, Thursday, when we will again shine the spotlight on some interesting person, place, or thing. Yeah, thank you very, very much. Yeah, it's now time for me to pack up and get out of here. It's now 9:56. Thank you once again. Thank you. It's a story and a half. I tell you. Jacqueline said that she heard it, as Janelle said she heard it very well. And Yvette said she didn't have any problem hearing. Thank you for that response. Talmadilla Simmons, good evening to you, my brother. How are you doing? Good to see you. Jacqueline Tyson, thank you for stopping by, my sister. Sherman Spence, thank you for stopping by, my brother. Next week, thank you, Lady D. Denise Gomez, my friend and my colleague. I appreciate you, Lady D. Thank you very, very much. Those of you, Sherman, pick up yourself, bro. Those of you who tuned in on CaribbeanVibesRadio.com, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Those of you who tuned in on the radio app, I want to say thank you. And if you have not yet downloaded the app, you can also go ahead and download the radio app from Google Play Store. Take us with you wherever you go 24 hours per day. We have all kinds of stuff going on all throughout the day, so make sure that you check it out. It is now time for me to pack up and get out of here. Once again, I want to say thank you. Without you, there is absolutely no me. Don't forget to look out for the children, knowing that the children are the most vulnerable among us. Treat them and teach them the way of love. And while you're looking out for the children, make sure that you look out for your neighbors as well. Treat your neighbors the way you want them to treat you. And I guarantee you that if you treat your neighbors the way you want them to treat you, this world will be a magnificent, magnificent place to live in. Take care. God bless. Well, good until next time. I'm out of here. Have a fantastic, fantastic night.